I'm going to show you baked chicken wings with just 5 ingredients and minimal efforts. For chicken wings, of course, I'm going to use chicken wings. Now they look something like this for the ones who've not seen it before. Now these are divided into 3 parts. There's a little bit of a shoulder end, there's the real chicken wing, and then there's a little bit of a winglet. You can choose to cut it, you can retain it. That is completely your choice. But what is important is to absolutely clean it well. There are a little bit of follicles here and there which you need to pluck and remove. Very, very important because you do not want that to come in anyone's mouth. Now, for the sauce to steep in or for the marination to steep right within, what I'm going to do is stab it a little. What I'm going to use is a fork to do that so that you kind of create such pockets. Now, as simple as that. After cleaning this, washing this, and poking this with a fork, the next step is to dab this completely dry so that the marination kind of sticks on top of this. Wipe it well, dry it completely, and keep this aside. Similarly, let's start with the other chicken wings. Another alternate step is to use a sharp knife and poke it like so. You can choose whichever step you wish or whichever you think is safe for you to work in the kitchen with. The chicken wings are patted dry and ready. Let's move this aside. Let's move on to the marination. The marination is going to be sticky, it's going to be sour, it's going to be garlicky and spicy. To make it nice, sticky and sweet, I'm going to use some honey. Well, you can use some maple, you can use some molasses, brown sugar, that's your choice. To this, for some souring and something salty, I'm using dark soy sauce. Well, by using soy sauce, it also takes away the need of adding additional salt. So it's very important. For some spice, heat and flavor, I'm adding in red chilli oil. Very, very important an ingredient because the punch of this recipe actually depends on this one single ingredient. To this, let's add in some garlic paste. Mix this well and you'll notice and realize that this is converted into a nice and thick liquid, and that is going to stick all over the chicken wing and make it beautiful. The next thing that goes in are the chicken wings. We need to mix this well, and if you have some time at hand, you can keep this to marinate or rest. 15 minutes, half an hour, overnight, choice is yours. Once the chicken wings are marinated, the next step is to transfer these on a baking tray. Let's glaze these wings with half the sauce that's remaining. Well, now 5 minutes of your hard work and 40 minutes of the oven doing all its effort. This needs to be cooking for the first 20 minutes. We need to baste it again and cook it for a further 20 minutes. A total of 40 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. The chicken wings have been basted twice. They've been baked for 40 minutes. And now if you see, they've converted into this nice, sticky, crunchy and crisp baked chicken wings. Try making this in your own home kitchens and trust me, you'll stop buying from outside because these are not just tasty but made under 5 ingredients.
Today we're going to make honey chili chicken. It's the perfect combination of being slightly spicy with a hint of sweetness. You can serve this as a starter or even as a main course. But regardless, it's absolutely delicious. So let's get started with the recipe. We're going to start with marinating the chicken for this. I have here 250 grams of boneless chicken that I've cut up into thin strips. Now I'm going to start marinating this with some ginger and garlic. So I'm going to use half a teaspoon of finely minced garlic and half a teaspoon of finely minced ginger. Now to this I'm going to add a quarter of a teaspoon of regular table salt. And to this I'm also going to add quarter of a teaspoon of black pepper powder. Now I'm just going to mix this through thoroughly before letting the chicken marinate. Now you need to let this chicken marinate for at least half an hour so that it can absorb all the flavors of the ginger, garlic, salt and pepper that we've added before we move on to the next step. It's been about half an hour. Now it's time to add some corn flour to this before we fry off the chicken. I'm going to add anywhere from about 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup of this. You'll see how it goes. I'll just mix it through thoroughly. I've added about 2 tablespoons right now. I'm going to add about another 2 tablespoons of corn flour. Now it's time to fry this off in batches. The wok is nice and hot, so I'm going to add some oil to it. This is just about 2 tablespoons of regular flavorless oil. And to this, almost immediately, just in batches, I'm going to add the chicken. I'm just going to flip these pieces of chicken that I've added to the pan so that they cook and get slightly golden on both sides. Our first batch of the chicken is done, so I'm just going to take it out of the pan and just drain it on a paper towel. Little bit more oil before I add the next batch. The second batch has also cooked through. I'm just going to take it out of the pan. Okay, now we're going to get the sauce ready for this before we actually move on to cooking the entire thing through. So in this bowl, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of red chili sauce, 2.5 tablespoons of honey. This is, after all, honey chili chicken. And about half a teaspoon of red chili powder. This is going to give us a little extra color and of course a little extra heat as well. And now to this, we'll add a teaspoon of soy sauce. Give it a good mix. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of water to this. I'm going to set this aside for the time being and move back to cooking the honey chili chicken. And just add about a teaspoon more of oil. Now to this really hot wok, I'm going to add a teaspoon of finely minced garlic and a teaspoon of finely minced ginger. The ginger and garlic are completely cooked. Now I'm going to add some spring onion. This is just roughly chopped. Give that a good toss around the pan. The spring onion has become slightly translucent. Now it's time to add some bell pepper. I'm using green capsicum here. This cooks really quickly when you've prepped all the ingredients and kept them ready. In fact, for Chinese or Thai cooking, that's exactly what you should do. Just keep everything ready and then it's just toss, mix, toss, mix. Everything's sizzling in the pan and I love the smell here. I'm going to add the chicken back into the pan. And give it a good toss so that it mixes really well with the ginger, garlic, spring onions and capsicum. Now it's time to add the sauce that we had mixed together here. Toss everything well so that the chicken takes on the flavor of this sauce really well. I'm going to add a bit of salt. Give it a good mix. I've got about a tablespoon of water here and I'm going to add another tablespoon of corn flour to create a slurry to thicken the sauce. Take the flame up to high and add this to the chicken. Mix it really well. That's it, our chicken is cooked through. I'm going to turn off the heat and add just a dash of vinegar. Just mix that through. Now we're just going to serve this up. I'm going to garnish this first with the green part of spring onion. and just a hint of white sesame seeds. Whether you have guests coming over or just want to treat yourself, honey chili chicken is the perfect dish to make at home, and I really hope that you'll try this recipe really soon.
Today, I'm going to make possibly one of the quickest seafood starters, butter garlic prawns. Let's begin. Though this recipe has a lot of flavor of butter, we need to first begin with oil, because I do not want the butter to get burnt or scorched. Just like a tablespoonful of vegetable oil. Once the oil in the pan heats up, we need to proceed further. For this, I've taken 25 to 30 medium-sized prawns, of which I've removed the shells, washed it nicely and kept ready. So let's add this in the pan. You'll notice as soon as the prawns hit the pan, they will turn a shade golden or orange. Quick few tosses, and this is when I'll add in a little bit of salt. Around 2 to 3 tablespoonfuls of garlic. Let's toss this well. We need to constantly keep the flame on high because prawns generally cook within 4 to 5 minutes on high flame. To increase the flavor of garlic, I'm using fresh garlic or green garlic. We are going to use that with the roots and the leaves. Time to add in the chopped green garlic to the prawns. You will see that the flavor of the prawns, because of the fresh garlic, kind of doubles up. Let's give this a quick few tosses. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoonfuls of salted butter. Allow that to nicely melt, and while that's happening, let's chop some fresh parsley. Make sure when you chop the garlic and parsley, it's nice and fine because the flavor becomes nice and intense. Give this a few tosses. And at this point in time, I'll be adding in just a little bit of water, like 2 to 3 tablespoons. You need to increase the flame and allow the prawns to poach in this water. With this, I'll also add in some chili flakes along with freshly crushed black pepper. Give this a mix. And to this now, to thicken this sauce a little, I'm adding in just a little bit of cornstarch. This is somewhere around half teaspoon, and to dilute this, I'm taking 1 or 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of water. Let's give this a mix. Let's add the corn flour slurry to the cooking prawns. And while this is cooking, just a touch of freshly squeezed lemon. A quick mix, and your butter garlic prawns are ready. This recipe of butter garlic prawns is indeed simple yet flavorful.
Chicken Hakka noodles. So let's get started with the recipe. Now the first thing you need to do is heat the wok. I'm going to use about 150 grams of boneless chicken that I've boiled and just shredded up into thin pieces like this. Now I've used just plain salted water with a little bit of pepper, and after the chicken was poached, that's the same stock water that I used to boil the noodles. Now that's what's going to give this recipe loads of flavor, so do try it this way. The wok is nice and hot, so I'm just going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of oil. And almost immediately, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of finely chopped garlic and 1 teaspoon of finely chopped ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. Now mine are really spicy, so you can adjust this to whatever you have at home. Just give that a quick stir around the pan. Now I'm going to add spring onions. This is about 1/4 cup of the white part of spring onion that's just been chopped up. Give that a good stir. Now I'm going to add 1 carrot that's been sliced really finely and about 1/3 cup of French beans. Just mix everything well together. Now the chicken. Just quickly toss everything together really well. Now the noodles. I'm just going to toss it together to make sure that the noodles and the veggies and the chicken are mixed together really well. Now the soy sauce. I'm using a light soy sauce. Now that's really important because otherwise it just changes the color of the noodles. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons. Quickly toss that through. And a final sprinkling of salt. And just quickly toss everything together really well. The chicken Hakka noodles are almost done. I say almost because I'm going to turn off the heat and add just about half a teaspoon of plain white vinegar. And again, toss it through really well. The final thing to do is to just sprinkle on the green parts of the spring onion. And toss the spring onion through just before you're ready to serve it.
Today let's see how to make a Durban mutton curry using our local ingredients. For that I'm going to heat 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add 2-inch stick of cinnamon, 1 black cardamom, 1 star anise, and 2 bay leaves. And once these spices release their aroma, I'm going to add 2 medium onions that I have sliced, a sprig of curry leaves, and let's saute these onions to a beautiful golden brown color. The onions have got fried crisp and golden. I'm going to add a tablespoon of ginger paste, a tablespoon of garlic paste. Just saute this till the raw smell goes off. To this I'm going to add 3/4 kg of mutton, and I'm going to sear the meat for 3 to 4 minutes on a high flame. The color of the meat has changed. It's got a beautiful brown color to it. Let's add the spices. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of red chilli powder, a teaspoon of fennel seed powder, a teaspoon of garam masala powder, a pinch of turmeric, and just let's quickly mix this. It's time to add the tomato puree. Here I have boiled 2 tomatoes, medium sized, and I have just simply ground them to a paste. Let's add this. We all love potatoes, don't we? And especially along with a meat curry, it's amazing. So here I have 2 medium-sized potatoes which I have halved with the skin on. I'm going to add this as well. These are pretty large potatoes. Let's add a liter of water to this. Salt to taste. Give it a good stir. Now let's cover this and slow cook the meat till it's done, which will approximately take about 45 minutes to an hour. We kept the mutton to cook for almost 45 minutes. I'm just going to check if the meat is cooked. The meat is off the bone. It's cooked really well. Let's shut the flame and remove this Durban mutton curry in a serving bowl. What an amazing aroma. The Durban mutton curry is ready to be served. It goes very well with steamed rice, and you saw what a quick and easy recipe this was. Do try it.
There are 3 steps to making the chicken biryani. Let's begin with the first one, which is making the chicken. For that, I'm taking some oil in a pan and I'm going to heat this on moderate flame. Along with this, I'm going to add in some ghee. Once the ghee and oil get moderately hot, I'll be adding in the garam masala. And after that, the peeled potatoes. We'll let the potatoes cook till they are nice and golden brown. And in the interim, I'm going to start marinating the chicken. For that, I'm going to take some yogurt along with ginger garlic paste, some salt, some turmeric powder, red chilli powder, fried onions and tomatoes. Mix this nicely. This is done and ready. Keep checking on the potatoes. Chicken goes in. Give it a nice mix. Once this is seared and ready, I'm going to add in a little bit of water. Give it a stir. I'm now going to cover this and cook it on medium flame till it's done. I'm going to move this to the flame right next here, and in the interim, let's start making the rice, for which I'm going to take some ghee in a pan along with a little bit of oil. Once the oil heats up, I'm going to add in some garam masala. I'm going to lower the flame and add in water. I'm going to add in some salt. I'll wait for the water to come to a roll boil. In the interim, what I've done here is, I have washed and soaked long grain basmati rice. I've just soaked it for somewhere around 15 to 20 minutes, and that's more than enough time required to soak the rice. The water's come to a roll boil. I'm adding in the rice very carefully. Give it a light stir and continue cooking this on high flame. Let's check for the doneness of the rice. Well, it's almost 3/4 done. Time is now to put the flame off. I'm going to drain this rice. So I've got a colander right here in which I'm going to drain this. The rice is drained and ready. Let me check for the chicken now. Well, that's almost done. Just giving it a mix. Now that the chicken is almost done, I'm placing in 2 boiled eggs. And after this goes in the drained rice. The trick to a good fluffy biryani is you should not press the rice. Always move the rice like this and make sure it gets nice and even. On goes the lid, and you can place this on high flame for exactly 8 minutes and then on low flame for 2 minutes, and that's when a beautiful biryani will get ready. Let's check if the biryani is done. Here you have it, ready. Off goes the flame. Now let's begin the plating. Finally, I'm going to garnish this with some fried onions along with fresh mint and fresh coriander.